ARK Invest 创始人木头杰凯西伍德发布2026年大预测，他认为 AI 将推动 GDP 增长突破7%，数据中心投资将达1.4万亿美元，特斯拉 Robotaxi 成本比 Waymo 低50%，基因治疗将实现一针治愈。以下是精华片段。
Crystallized it in big ideas. I'd like to start with a section we're calling the Great Acceleration. And what we're trying to communicate is that AI is in early stages still, and that it has miles to go. Sure, it feels like it's a hype cycle because capital spending in the tech and telecom sectors as a percent of GDP is nearly as high now as it was during the tech and telecom bubble. But if you will remember, the tech and telecom bubble laid fiber, and most of it remained dark. Today, the GPUs are driving this cycle. And I'll steal from Brad Gerstner at Altimeter. He's saying those aren't dark. They're in short supply, and they are being used. And we agree completely with that. We compare this capital spending cycle to the railroads in the 1800s. That got up to 5 to 6% of GDP. And then the automobile explosion in the early 1900s. That got up to 3 to 4% of GDP. And then we get to the tech and telecom bubble. That, when you added software and hardware, comm equipment together, that was about the same size as the auto capital spending cycle. And we're about there now in this cycle with AI, robotics, energy storage, multi-omic sequencing, blockchain technology. But we think we're going a lot higher. We think we will go on the AI infrastructure side. So we believe that the data center infrastructure cycle, which is at about $500 billion now, up 2.5 times from pre-ChatGPT, that is actually going to $1.4 trillion per year by 2030. Thank goodness we had the ChatGPT moment, because that was the aha moment for all of us as we were saying, wait a minute, look what I can do with this. This is a miracle. And now we see, as we've done the analysis, and you'll find this in Big Ideas, that $20 subscription that each of us pays here at ARK, well, actually, ARK pays for it, but the $20 per seat subscription, and in a few cases, the $200 per month subscription for those heavy users, the $20 we're paying off in about a half day's work. So the payoff time is almost nothing as we are able to do our research and leverage our time enormously. We also think, and this is somewhat controversial because software stocks have been going through a very year because we had the drawdown after the flash crash 1010 in October. We think that a lot of the deleveraging associated with, really, that was a software glitch, I think, at Binance, that deleveraging, automated deleveraging, caused $28 billion of carnage. We think we've worked through that now. And I think the main question on Bitcoiners' minds is, okay, are we finished with the traditional 4-year downdraft? Every 4 years, a downdraft in the cycle. We're beginning to think we are. although we could base here in the $80,000 to $90,000 range for a while. But we do believe the next inflection is up. And while I know these companies, their productivity, the companies that are emerging, their productivity is astonishing. Tether, for example, last year, we delivered $50 million per employee. That is unheard of. But we think that the capitalizing on all of these new technologies is going to drive productivity gains much higher than people can even postulate right now. And with that, while many people are afraid, given the robotics movement of, and AI, everyone being thrown out of jobs, we disagree. We think this is going to be one of the greatest opportunities for the entrepreneurial spirit in history, especially because you can go to ChatGPT or Grok and say, I think there's a huge unmet need for this, that, or the other product or service. Think about it. And I would like to start that business. Boy, when we started ARK, I would have loved to have a starting point like that. And you can work with ChatGPT, XAI, Grok, to build your business. Try it. If you're looking for a job, figure out what's that biomics, which is life sciences, and really the convergence among sequencing technologies, artificial intelligence, and new technologies like CRISPR gene editing. What are we doing? We're diagnosing cancer in stage 1 or before stage 1. Polyps also shed into the blood. And this is just with blood tests. We're collapsing the cost of drug discovery and development. We think it could drop from $2.4 billion for one drug to roughly $700 million over the next 4 years. And that, of course, includes the failures along the way. And then most provocatively, and Shay has done an amazing job of documenting what a cure is going to be worth. And I have to give Brett Winton incredible credit as he partnered with Shay on this project to try and figure out how much is a cure worth. And we think while the cure for HAE, which is a very rare disease, would be worth $11 million, one and done. You get this treatment and you're done. That's Intellia's trial right now, and it's in vivo. You don't have to go through any excruciating preconditioning. It could be worth $11 million. That's how much it would save the system. But they'll probably be able to charge $3 million. And believe me, insurance companies, they will have no problem with that. So take a look at that section. It's fascinating. SpaceX, 10 years ahead of any competitor. It landed its first reusable rocket in 2015. And now it owns 2/3 of the satellite market and something like 85% of all of the upmass put into orbit. And of course, now we've discovered a new use case, and it couldn't happen without reusable rockets. Data centers in space. And this is a fairly new introduction to, our line of thinking, and of course, inspired by Elon himself. So take a look at our reusable rocket section and be inspired by that whole new world that's being developed. Many people, when they're talking about automation and AI and unemployment, one of the things I say is, wait a minute, there are two new worlds evolving here. Outer space, a completely new world. All kinds of jobs are going to be associated with that. And then in the digital realm, now we've got robots and rockets, other autonomous vehicles, of course, robotaxis. And we believe that we are in the midst of the birthing of the robotaxi market. And you've seen our work there. We've updated it to show that Tesla's competitive edge over Waymo has, well, at least according to our estimates, increased. We used to think that their cost structure, Tesla's cost structure, would be 35% lower than Waymo's. But as we have refined our analysis, we now believe it's going to be 50% lower. And it is very interesting to watch Uber and others trying to insinuate themselves into this space. They know it's important, but we have been saying all along and still believe that Uber and others will be lead generators for Tesla and Waymo, which will probably be number 2, as they scale throughout the U.S. And one of the most interesting pieces of work that Tasha and Daniel did this year was on the percent of urban miles that Uber covers right now in the United States. It's about 1%. And so we did a calculation. How many autonomous vehicles would Tesla have to produce, or Waymo, to cover 1% of urban miles? That would be 140,000 units. Now, what would be the number? How many vehicles would it take to cover all urban miles? And that number is only 24 million. That is less than 10%. Show you. And then finally, autonomous logistics. Autonomous trucks will cut delivery costs by 60%. Drones and rolling robots are also going to cut delivery costs dramatically. Did you know there are already 4 million deliveries per year by drones? Now, to be sure, Zipline, one of the companies in our venture fund, is responsible for, I think, half of those. But we believe that the cost to deliver by drone will cut delivery costs. Right now, DoorDash, $15 per, to less than $1. So a 90% reduction over time. So this is another huge market percolating out there. And we're so excited because we